So I'm just listening to Johnny Cash right now, and I was really contemplating how much it's a struggle to sort of think about who I am as a person. I know that seems really strange, but I was listening to the words of some of the Johnny Cash songs, and they really don't stand the test of time. I know lots of people would probably argue with me, but a lot of it really doesn't hold up to who we are as a society today and what we're about. And I think about, one of the things I think about as a professor of innovation is, technology and innovation and progress and going from here to there. And, we do make a lot of progress, but a lot of the things I feel very at home with and most comfortable with and that bring up the most amount of memories and sort of positive memories are things that perhaps we even shouldn't be listening to today, right? Johnny Cash, for example. A lot of it is the blue-collar struggle of who we are as a person and, growing up in that a much different culture of what it is today in terms of, reflecting on what it means to sort of cowboy hero, for example, which, if you were to even propose to make a movie about cowboys that wasn't, that sort of showed the same views of cowboys that was in the 60s and 70s, it wouldn't even work out. You would not even get that on television. If you look at most TV now, they don't have that sort of stereotype view of cowboys, for example, the Johnny Cashes and the I'm blanking on the guy's name, but the John Waynes and all of those folks. It just doesn't exist today, and that sort of belief doesn't exist. And yet I was born and raised on listening to all of that music on scratchy records and many of the sort of old-time country music, and also watching these cowboy and western shows. And man, they're really politically incorrect in a lot of different ways. And so I struggle with that, and I get a sense that almost everybody is struggling with this sort of identity at this moment. And I think that's kind of the discussion that's going on in popular cultures. How do you deal with this? I think we're actually going through a time that's similar to the 1960s that perhaps we haven't gone through in terms of, what's going on and what's appropriate and what should we say. And I think that there's been a lot of pressure from, many sides of the debate of what is appropriate. But I think ultimately, we're going to come out of this in a positive way, but at the same time, I don't know what to make of myself, and that's the macro conversation is it absolutely will be positive in terms of all of the conversations that we're having currently in the last, I would say 10 years since the financial crisis, the 2008 financial crisis, of what it means to who we are. But me as a person, never mind all of that sort of macro craziness that's gone on in the political side and, many different factors there. But me as a person, I don't know who I am. And that's, if I feel like that, and somebody that sort of studies this and thinks about this and, ponders this, I don't know what everybody else is feeling. I think that's the tricky thing with this is, what does it mean to be ourselves in modern times? And I don't know what the right answer is. And I think, the only thing that I can say, and the only thing I was sort of reflecting on, is just be kind to yourself when you make goofs and gaffes. And the other thing is be kind to other people. They're grappling with many of these issues and stuff too. The older generation, I couldn't imagine, older than me, I'm old, older than me. I can't imagine how they're dealing with this sort of sense of who they are in modern society. And I know that it often means sort of abandoning who you are as a person, right? And that's what it means to grow and to learn. And so I think it's hard for people to go through that. And many times that I've gone through my own personal journey, I call them mind flips. All of a sudden you're like, I'm totally different. But, to reconcile many things, you have to abandon who you were. And the challenge is abandoning who you were and who you are as a person, recognizing, wait a minute, the world is a lot more nuanced, and that there's a lot more that's going on. And sometimes we're forced to think about that and forced to get into that. And sometimes we have to learn that on our own. And I don't know what the right answer is in terms of balancing where you should be in modern society and how relevant you should be and in sync that you should be. Because ultimately, the choice is yours. But just to be kind. Everybody's going through their own personal journey. Everybody's really thinking about things and who they are all the time. And sometimes it comes out like, oof, that's a little rough. And other times it comes out like, hey, that's completely understanding. I get ya. So I think that's it, is to be kind. We're going to make goofs and gaffes. And we're going to say silly things, both yourself and other people. But, come through it at the other end and realize when you come through it at the other end that most of the stuff that you're upset about and you have tensions about not going to matter in that many years. Just be kind, reflect, and hopefully hopefully you get through it as we go through so many different changes in modern society. All right, take care and have a wonderful day. Bye.